This video is going to show you how to complete Loft Object number 4, which is the pipe adapter. As you can see here, there are several dimensions I need to be aware of, and I kind of have a sectioned view of the final result and how it's going to have excellent flow characteristics because it's very smooth inside via the shell tool. So let's go ahead and kind of take a look at how we're going to attack this. So there are two profiles, one's circular here and another circular here, and these are on perpendicular planes, something to be aware of. And then I have several dimensions here, so I'm not really worried about this height. I can add that in with dimensions, but I'm more worried about how far are these work planes from each other, because I'm going to have to create an offset plane. So from the center point of this circle, it's going to be 2 inches to this plane. So let's go ahead and make that first part right now. Right now I'm going to make that bottom circle. I'm going to use the center point. I always like to see how I can best integrate the center point because it makes my life easier. Much easier to constrain using the center point. Okay, I put 0.75 because that's what I'm given here. Okay. Kind of take my home view, reorient myself. Okay, well, come on, computer. Now, my next plane, I know it needs to be perpendicular plane-wise, but it also needs to be offset by 2 inches. So this one would actually fit that bill perfect. Oh, excuse me, I need to offset from that. I'll get ahead of myself here. So I'm going to offset from this plane 2 inches, and then I'm going to sketch on this plane. And this is going to be another circle, but it's not going to be on the center point. It's going to be elevated above the center point because I know that I have this 1.5 inch height difference here. And it's actually given to me in 2 different planes. So hopefully you can figure it out one way or another. 1.5 inches. And then I just need to make sure that it is vertical, center point to center point. It is vertical. And the last thing I need is the diameter here, or radius, which is 0.5. Looks good. All right. Now I'm going to need a center line between the two to guide the loft. You'll see when I do the loft without the center line, it looks really goofy. So I need a plane that bisects both of the center points, which, since I made it on the center line, is this one. I don't have to create anything. And I'm going to use the 3-point arc tool because that makes the most sense. So that's 1 point, 2 point, and 3. Very easy, right? I'm going to put this 2-inch radius that I'm given. And let's see. Now I kind of lost my point there. So let's go ahead and use a constraint to put it back on that point. And fully constrain from that point. Excellent. All right, at this point, I feel I'm ready to go ahead and loft. So let's loft and see what it looks like. Now I'm going to do it without a center line just to show you how goofy it looks. It just takes the easiest route there, which is exactly why we need to use guides. And the guide type is a center line, so make sure you click that. And it's going to be this one here. Okay, you can kind of see how that looks. It looks excellent if you ask me. All right. Now, this is a guide here, which when you get a little bit more advanced, it's very important to have those absolutely accurate. And they can kind of change the features a little bit. But for our purposes right now, it's perfectly fine where it is, and I'm just going to leave it there. Now, these threaded portions here, I need to create the solids to thread first. So I'm going to just project the geometry here and just do a simple extrude. Now it looks like I didn't get the dimensions of that, so actually I did. Both threaded portions are 1/2 inches long. Look, there it is right there. So let's go ahead and extrude that to 1/2 inch, 0.5. Okay, and then I can do the same thing down here. Now one thing I do want to point out about threading is some programs do threading much easier than others. Fusion, which is what I'm using right now, has been much more problematic with threading than Inventor, which is where I originally made these. So if you're using Fusion in my class, I'm not going to ask you to thread. Just give me the solid portions here and